I'm the bad boy, Barry Hardy, former WWF, WCW, ECW wrestler, and now, Florida champion.
And how long have you been wrestling?
22 years.
And you started where?
1987, the Monster Factory, Paulsboro, New Jersey.
Who ran it?
Pretty Boy Larry Sharp.
Huh, okay.
And he's the one that trained you?
Actually, Charlie Fulton trained me. Yeah.
And then from there you went to...
Started out, did 2 or 3 independents, and Larry asked me if I wanted to go to WWF, and went and did a show for them. Used me in like 1 match, went back again in 3 weeks. They used me in a match, and then after that, pretty much that's where it all started.
And you got beaten up by the top names of the 80s WWF roster, didn't you?
I wrestled the best.
You made everybody look golden.
Exactly. That was my job. Make them look good, and that's what kept me employed for 9 years in the World Wrestling Federation. Not WWE, WWF, what the world was watching.
And did you ever win a match the entire time you were there?
Yeah, actually, me and Dwayne Gill, we did win some matches, dark matches.
Mm-hmm. Nothing televised, though?
Nothing televised. No.
Well, at least you were the familiar name out there after a while.
Yeah, I was pretty much, we usually filmed about 6 hours of TV in 2 days. Well, but we spent from 7 o'clock at night till about 1:30 in the morning back in the old days. Because they were still filming with hand cranks. But yeah, I was on Superstars of Wrestling, Wrestling Challenge, Primetime Wrestling. So if we filmed usually 3 hours in a night, I was usually on every hour. So I was on TV like every week, getting my butt kicked by the best of them.
And then you went over to WCW.
Yep, 1996 I left and went to WCW. Spent about 2 years there, and wrestled some good talent there and everything too.
What was the difference between the companies, do you think?
WCW was very laid back, really just relaxed atmosphere, which I guess it was good, but it was bad too because it ended up being their downfall. No structure. Eric Bischoff, you suck.
And then you went to ECW?
Yes. Spent about 6 months in ECW. Paulie Dangerously. The real ECW. Not the phony one that's on TV right now, because Extreme Championship Wrestling was extreme. I was there with Axel Rotten, the Dudley Boys, and many more to name. Tommy Dreamer, Sabu, all the good guys.
Nice. And you were part of the FBI?
Part of the FBI. Yep. Tommy Rich was my manager.
Have you done anything with TNA?
No TNA yet.
Is it saying you're...
I know you want me, Jeff, don't you? You're looking at the bad boy because you know I'm dominating all the independents in Florida right now. So, and they're even bringing me up to Rochester, New York, Buffalo, New York. You can see me anywhere. Spend some money and see me.
What's the worst injury you've received in all these years?
Broken sternum.
Oh.
Thanks, Bob Holly.
How did that occur?
He gave me a boot to the sternum, broke it.
Really?
Yeah. And you were asking about one of the matches we won, and one of the dark matches in Canada. Did a leg drop off the top rope, blew out my disc, had that removed. That was back in 1991. So.
Have you done a leg drop off the top rope since?
Nope.
Have you wrestled Bob Holly since?
No.
Who are the best guys you've worked with over the years?
Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig, Owen Hart. Probably my favorite matches and best guys in the world to work against. Love the Bushwhackers too as a tag team. So.
Anyone you had problems with?
No, not really. Not in WWF or anything. Indies, a lot of guys, legends in their own minds. When they wrestle people that have been there and done that, they just don't want to listen to you anymore. So, wake up! You might learn something.
Now, you don't do any of the hardcore stuff, right?
Nah, no hardcore. The ECW thing, it was fun. I wrestled a little bit, but I got out because I couldn't do the chairs and all that stuff. But kept my body intact a little more.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah. Tables hurt.
How many more years do you think you want to keep wrestling?
I'd probably go another 3 or 4. See what happens. If my body holds together and I'm wrestling decent talent, I'd definitely stay as long as I can.
You've never retired, retired, have you?
Retired. I always step away and I say I'm going to retire, but no, I've never had a retirement match or anything. And
well, to do it properly, you should have at least 8 different retirement matches over the years.
yeah, that's what I've heard, but I think I'm going to go for 1. And when I do, it's going to be really special that I really want to wrestle and That'll be my retirement match.
Who would be your dream opponent?
Um,
Or if you had to pick a
Wow.
few?
Nowadays, wow, it'd be hard. I mean, I'd love to retire to Hogan, you know, because I mean, I was a big Hogan fan. Like I said earlier, I never watched wrestling. When I got into it, it was all because of Hulk Hogan. When I seen him, I loved the charisma. Or Ric Flair. I learned how to act from Hulk Hogan and give the fans what they wanted, and I learned how to wrestle by watching Ric Flair. So either one of them would be a great retirement match.
Have you wrestled either of them?
Nope. Came this close both times.
Really?
WWF and WCW, yeah.
What happened?
We were actually, it was supposed to be myself and Bob Starr against Hogan and Macho when they were wearing the suits, the green suits with the mask on and everything, and last minute they pulled us out. So I don't know what happened. I don't know if Hogan didn't want to wrestle me or what. He was probably scared.
Brother.
Well, maybe you could join the Hulkamania tour down in Australia.
Yeah, hey. I'm available, Hulk. You got the gonads?
Have you done anything with Ring of Honor?
No Ring of Honor yet. No. Would definitely go there. A lot of my friends have been up there from up here in New York. So,
Who do you see as good upcoming talent now?
I would probably say in the Rochester area, I would have to go with Brody Lee. I would figure if anybody's probably going to make it to be somewhere in the world of professional wrestling, Brody put some size on, he'll probably be the one to go there because he definitely has the talent and he puts on a great show and he's not scared to beat on you, which is a plus.
What about on the national scene? Like the younger guys in the bigger federations?
Evan Bourne is probably one of the best I've seen come along in a long time. I mean, that kid has got a ton of raw talent, and I don't know. I think he's a very good wrestler. So he's got a long way to go. Get some size on, and he'll probably be with it for a long time if he can do that. That's the key these days. You gotta have size.
What about anyone else that sticks out to you?
No, not really. That's about it right now.
What do you think the big difference in the wrestling today as opposed to, say, the 90s is?
I like the gimmicks. I kind of wish they would bring back some gimmicks because the whole thing is with the fans, they live real life every day. So if you're pushing real life on TV as far as wrestling goes, wrestling's supposed to be like a fantasy thing where you're stepping inside somebody's body and you want to live vicariously through them. And there's really no heroes anymore. Everything's a gray area. I don't like it like that. I would rather see, here's the heel, here's the baby face, superheroes, and do it that way. I just think Vince would be a lot better off if he would bring that back and gear it a little more towards the kids again and get rid of all the sex stuff. I think it's ran its course and it's time to make a change. I would like to get back to either WWE or TNA at least one more time, maybe for a 6-month stint or a 1-year stint, whatever they would bring me in for. But I mean, I know I'm probably a really good heel, as opposed to a lot of guys now. They're scared to talk, but when I walk through that curtain, I flip the switch. I'm a shy person usually, that's Barry Hardy, but when the bad boy comes out, I'm totally into the gimmick. I give the fans what they came to see, their money's worth, and hopefully when I walk through that curtain to go back in, you hate me more than you hated me when I came out through the curtain. Then I've done my job for you.
So back in the day, were you more of a face than a heel?
No, I've always been a heel. But for some reason, I guess fans just used to love the underdog, so they love me and Dwayne. Which was crazy because we got our butts kicked all the time.
And Barry Horowitz.
Yeah.
And Iron Mike Sharp.
Iron Mike Sharp. Mm-hmm.
Did you know Iron Mike Sharp?
Oh yeah, I wrestled probably 5 or 6 years with him in doing TVs along with Barry. There's a lot of great wrestlers. I mean, Brooklyn Brawler, everybody knew their job, and we were just all up there having fun.
Did he really have steel in his armband?
I don't know. He might have. He was pretty much one of the toughest wrestlers up in WWF at the time. Everybody pretty much respected Iron Mike. So I think he was an ex-hockey player or something out of Canada. So. But he was a tough guy.
And huge.
Yeah.
And you were telling me that Dwayne got his knee blown out during a match?
Yeah, when we were wrestling Legion of Doom. Yeah, it was a pretty crazy match. Threw him over the top rope, blew his knee out and everything. He kept going, though. Another one was we were wrestling the Steiners. We had just gone on the road full time as the Executioners. And Rick, he was jumping off the top rope at the time when Scott would put you on his shoulders and Rick would bulldog you off the top rope. And they had just came back from Japan, and he wasn't letting Dwayne go. He was like riding him all the way down to the canvas and messed his shoulder all up. So for 4 days, I mean, I'm riding in the car, driving. Dwayne's got an ice pack on his shoulder. He kept going, and finally, hey, you know, we told him, hey, Rick, you got to let go, you know, when you're halfway down, but you're killing him, you know. So he did. You know,
Was that just because he'd been working in Japan and working a little stiffer?
yeah, everything is really tight over there, and you know, over here a little looser.
Have you ever been over there to wrestle?
No, never went to Japan. We were making magazines all over the place over there, but we didn't end up over there. Just
Any other countries?
no, pretty much Canada, Newfoundland, all up in that area, all through the upper and all through the United States.
What's the biggest mistake young wrestlers make coming up?
Running their mouth too much. Keep your ears open. Keep your mouth shut. You might learn something, because when you're thinking that you don't need to put other people over, you really do, because you got to start at the bottom to get to the top. The more you run your mouth, the further down the ladder you're going to stay.
You know, and would you say after all this time it's been worth it?
Yeah. My son's getting into it now, and I really wish he wouldn't. I wanted to see him do something else with his life. Other people, I would say, you know, if that's your dream, you got to fulfill your dream. But I did it. I don't have any regrets. And I was one of the lucky ones, because at the time, WWE was, well, WWF, and back then they were taking job guys, so I kind of got my foot in the door and I made it. But now it's so hard for guys, because there's really not many federations out there unless you're doing independence. So all you got is TNA and WWE pretty much, unless you go to Japan or, you know, down to Mexico.
Right.
What would you say is the biggest mistake you've made in your career?
When I left WWE, well, WWF, I keep saying WWE, I hate that. I never wrestled for WWE. Remember that. Yeah, when I left WWF to go to WCW was probably my biggest mistake.
Why?
Because I probably would have ended up being an agent or something like that. You know, I probably could have had a career in WWF as more than what it turned out to be. But things happened between Dwayne and myself, and we split up, and I just kind of left and went on my own. So
Do you still talk to him?
yeah, oh yeah, we're pretty much on the phone about every week or so.
Will there ever be an Executioners reunion?
I'm not sure. We're going to do the Lords of Darkness reunion on November 7th. We're getting inducted into the Hall of Fame for Maryland Championship Wrestling. And the Executioners, I don't know. I don't know if they're ever going to make a, a reunion or not. It'd be nice. It'd be nice to see the Executioners come up and be the guest guys on Raw. That would be pretty sweet. We'd like to make some matches.
Do you still get residuals if you're in any of the clips?
No. That was the one thing with Dwayne and myself. We pretty much signed everything away. I was in Natural Born Killers. I didn't see anything. I was on Nintendo commercials, Great Crush commercials. Still, they're putting me on videos. I'm on WWF or WWE 24/7 on Comcast a lot, and I don't see anything from it. He was pretty smart when he got us to just sign everything away.
Well, Natural Born Killers, as in...
Yeah, the movie.
Were you in the
Woody
movie?
Harrelson. Yeah, what they did is they took a clip of me and Tatanka wrestling, and when
On the TV screen?
yeah, we're on the TV when he's getting the crap beat out of him by Woody Harrelson, you know, with the crowbar.
Nice.
So, Rodney. But yeah, they stuck us in a little clip. He didn't even know he was in it. I didn't know I was in it. My brother-in-law called me, "Hey man, you're in the movie. You gotta go see it." So. I guess some publicity is better than none. You know?
Have you done any acting?
No, not at all. Just in wrestling.
Not saying you're interested in
And
pursuing.
on here.
Right. Anything you're interested in pursuing like that?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it. Definitely, I would love to be an actor. I think I could be a great bad guy. So, I'd like to give it a shot if I ever got a chance. Remember, the pleasure's been all yours.